The summer heat hung heavy over Willow Creek, a tidy suburban enclave where the lawns were clipped to perfection and the mailboxes gleamed. It was the kind of place where folks waved hello but kept their secrets close. That afternoon, at the neighborhood barbecue, James Carter stood by the grill, spatula in hand, soaking in the rare calm of an off-duty day. The sun warmed his shoulders, and kids darted through the park, their laughter mingling with the sizzle of burgers. James, a man who'd seen too much in his line of work, had chosen Willow Creek for its promise of quieta sanctuary from the chaos he faced daily. But as he flipped a patty, a sharp, acrid scent cut through the smoky aroma of charcoal. It wasn't a grill. It was something chemical, oily wrong. His head snapped up, eyes narrowing. Black plumes churned from a house 2 doors down Sarah Mitchell's place, the queen bee of the homeowners association. Flames licked the windows, unnatural in their speed, devouring the siding with a hunger that set James's nerves on edge. He dropped the spatula, his instincts kicking in. Sarah Mitchell, purse clutched tight, was walking away from her burning house with a calm that chilled him. Her perfectly styled hair framed a face serene, almost smug, as she glanced not at the inferno but at the park, her eyes glinting with something unreadable. Then a scream shattered the air. "Eli, my baby, he's inside." Nora DeVys, Eli's mom, stumbled from the community center, her face twisted in raw terror as she lurched toward her own house now billowing smoke just across the park. James was already moving, his mind racing. The fire's spread was too fast, too deliberate. Accelerants. He clocked the sign's greasy smoke, erratic burn patterns. His gut screamed. This was no accident. And Sarah, striding away from both scenes with that eerie composure, was at the heart of it. James had come to Willow Creek to escape his job as the state fire marshal, a role that demanded he dissect disasters and face death head-on. Here, he was just James, the quiet guy who nodded at neighbors and kept his lawn neat. He knew Nora and her son Eli, a bright 8-year-old with cerebral palsy who zipped playwright in a wheelchair, his speech to VYC spitting out cheeky quips that made James chuckle. Eli's smile was infectious, his spirit unbreakable despite his challenges. James had helped Nora tweak Eli's ramp a few weeks back, earning a gleeful, "You're stronger than Mom's boyfriend, Mr. Carter," from the boy, followed by Nora's flustered laugh. Sarah Mitchell, though, was a different beast. For 5 years, she'd ruled the HOA with an iron fist, her sharp eyes catching every misplaced trash can or tasteless lawn ornament. Her notices, laced with condescension, were legendary. James had dodged her radar, finding her petty tyranny annoying but harmless. Or so he'd thought. Sarah's clashes with Nora were no secret. She'd nitpicked Eli's ramp for encroaching an inch too far onto the path, dismissing Nora's pleas with a wave and a lecture about property values. James had caught the look in Sarah's eyes then cold, almost disdainful. He'd chalked it up to her obsession with perfection. But now, as he sprinted toward Nora's house, Sarah's serene exit from 2 burning homes painted a darker picture. A half-remembered rumor bubbled up. Sarah's childhood home had burned down decades ago, leaving her family in ruin. She'd blamed careless neighbors, and some said that loss fueled her need to control Willow Creek. Was Nora a single mom with a disabled son, her ramp and garden defying Sarah's rigid Siona target for something uglier than intolerance? Something personal, twisted, vengeful? A month earlier, the first crack had appeared. Nora and Eli had built a small raised garden bed in their yard, designed so Eli could reach the soil. By Monday, Sarah's white notice was pinned to Nora's door. Unauthorized landscaping. Remove immediately. Nora had shown it to James, her hands shaking. "It's for Eli. He wanted to grow basil." Eli's VYC chimed in. "And ghost peppers for Mr. Carter's bravery." Sarah had swooped in that afternoon, her voice crisp. "Rules are rules, Nora. That garden's an eyesore." When James stepped in, pointing out the garden's harmless joy, Sarah's gaze turned icy. "Mr. Carter, you wouldn't understand the nuances of maintaining harmony." Her tone dripped with a veiled jab, and by Thursday, the garden was gone, Nora's shoulders slumped, Eli's to VYC murmuring. The basil was sad to leave. Sarah's next move was crueler. She targeted Eli's therapy dog, Max, a gentle golden retriever, with an HOA email claiming anonymous complaints about aggression. Nora, near tears, told James, she says Max snapped at a poodle. It's a lie. She's threatening EVY tie-in. The neighborhood stayed silent, cowed by Sarah's relentless notices and her web of informants. Old Mr. Thompson, whose roses Sarah constantly criticized, shook his head when James asked about Max. That dog's a saint. But Sarah, she makes you see what she wants, or wish you had, to avoid her wrath. The barbecue, meant to mend fences, was where it all unraveled. Nora got to call her sister, stranded at urgent care with a hurt kid. She asked James to watch Eli, who yawned after 20 minutes of dragon tales. James wheeled him home, settled him on the couch with Max, and returned to the grill, promising to stay close. Then he saw Sarah, lingering near Nora's house, phone in hand, her expression predatory. A chill hit him, but he brushed it off until the smell returned, acrid and wrong. Smoke curled from Nora's windows. A woman screamed, "Fire!" and chaos erupted. James's training took over. He sprinted to Nora's door, twisted the knob. Locked. Deadbolt. His blood ran cold. He'd left it unlocked. Nora wouldn't have locked it with Eli inside. Sarah had been right there. The thought was monstrous, but it fit. He kicked the door, with splintering, then again, the deadbolt GIVYing way. Smoke choked him as he crawled inside. The fire's roar deafening. He found Eli in the hallway, curled up, Max barking frantically. Scooping Eli into his arms, James stumbled out, collapsing on the lawn as sirens wailed. Nora, sobbing, grabbed her son. "Thank you, James." His eyes, raw from smoke, locked on Sarah, standing by a rose bush, watching with eerie detachment. For a split second, a smirk flickered before she feigned horror. Fury surged. James strode toward her, ignoring a paramedic's tug. The crowd parted, sensing the storm. "You did this," he growled, voice low, lethal. Sarah's shock was theatrical, a tear glistening. What a dreadful accusation. Faulty wiring, surely. James stepped closer. The door was deadbolt from the outside. "I saw you walk away as the smoke started." Her bluster cracked, her voice shrill. "Slander. I was checking a railing." But the crowd's faces stunned, suspicious betrayed her. Mr. Thompson gaped, horror dawning. James's voice dropped, deadly soft. "Let me tell you about duty, Sarah. I'm James Carter, State Fire Marshal." Her face drained of color, her HOA queen persona crumbling into panic. "What I've seen here isn't just a bylaw violation. It's arson. Attempted murder of a child. And you're my prime suspect." A police sergeant, recognizing James, approached. "Detain her," James ordered. "She's a flight risk." I breached a deadbolt door, trapping a child. Sarah's protests turned incoherent as officers cuffed her, her reign collapsing in ash. Eli served VY-VED, treated for smoke inhalation. Max was fine, too. The investigation, led by James's team, was relentless. They found petroleum accelerants, a key to Nora's house in Sarah's jewelry box, and footage showing her locking the door minutes before the fire. Neighbors, finally free, spilled stories of Sarah's cruelty, racist jabs, financial scams, a bitter remark about a past fire. Some people get all the luck. Sarah's trial was a spectacle. Her defense framed by a vengeful fire marshal crumbled against James's testimony and damning EVY Denke. Con VY Ted of arson, attempted murder, and child endangerment. She was sentenced harshly, her home seized for Nora's restitution. Willow Creek reeled. A GoFundMe rebuilt Nora's house, now with a VY Brandt sensory garden for Eli. Leo's Law, sparked by James's advocacy, brought HOA reforms despite fierce pushback. The neighborhood, fractured but healing, grew wary but kind. Eli thrived, his voice to VYC declaring, "Chief James is my bestest friend." James, forever changed, saw Willow Creek not as an escape, but a battleground for good. Eli's garden, blooming bright, was a beacon of hope amid scars that would never fully fade. What do you think? Was Sarah driven by trauma or pure EVYL? Could the neighbors have stopped her sooner? Or were they too scared? Should HOAs have this much power? Drop your thoughts below, hit that like button, and subscribe for more stories that'll keep you on edge.